I want to talk to you about QR code payments and whether you are an online merchant or you have a brick and mortar store or you are even selling over the phone or mobile, a QR code payment can really help you big time. And so I want to really explain to you how everything works, how you can boost your revenue, how you can increase, let's say, client retention and also customer loyalty. So here are the top trends I want you to really understand. The thing is that the world is moving real fast, okay, and the economy is moving real fast, and you have to adapt to the shifts. Can you imagine what happened during COVID, for instance, when everybody was just home for a few weeks or months? You really had to you had to think about other ways to monetize your business, to monetize your operation, and a QR code actually was a great way for a lot of merchants globally to actually continue to survive. Actually, okay. And when you think about QR codes, it's not just about the process itself, but it's mostly the convenience, but the speed, the convenience for your customers, but the speed when it comes to you receiving your deposits as a merchant. So that's really good. So convenience and speed. I want you to remember those two terms. Okay. So if you think about QR code payments, there has been a shift, or let me just say, not a shift. There has been an evolution, a pretty positive evolution in the last 10 to 20 years. Okay. So if you think about QR codes are basically square designs made up of black and white dots that essentially tell your smartphone camera information like a URL. Okay. It's not like there's no link, but it's kind of similar to information that's contained in a URL. So every constellation of black and white squares constitutes a unique QR code linked to a specific URL, and your mobile device simply scans the QR code using your camera, and a link will pop up at the top of your screen, which you can tap to pull up in your internet browser. So you can see that the speed is there, the convenience is there. Okay, QR codes are not only they're not only an evolving piece of technology, but they have been around for a while. QR code actually have been around as late as one century ago. Think about it, 1894. Okay, sorry, not 1894, not 1994. More than 20 years ago, 20 to 30 years ago. Okay, so but it happened that the technology to actually that the technology that powered the QR code started about a century ago. But the actual technology, the actual final technology, QR code wise, came about in 1994. Okay, so that's something to really think about. So if you are a merchant this year, whether you are selling offline or online, it really makes sense for you to use QR codes to accept payments. Okay, I mean, if you think about it, if you have gone out to eat or to pick up a takeout, you've probably seen this online payment method on business doors, signs, and tables, right? Businesses are finding creative ways to use QR codes at their retail location because of how easy they are to deploy and how effective they are in providing a contactless payment experience. Okay, so nowadays it's actually second nature for customers to use their phones to quickly scan a QR code and pay through a QR code payment app, the mobile wallet. Okay, they can use the mobile wallet such as Apple Pay or Google Pay or other ways to actually pay. Okay, so the reason is that when it comes to why you should accept QR codes for payments, you have ease of use, you have speed, you have convenience. Okay, so not only that is it easy, but with more customers looking for contactless payment options, QR code payments have become the simplest way to remove touch points and optimize tasks. Okay, let me give you an example. In the restaurant industry, QR code payment systems replace the need to deliver physical menus, pass payment cards back and forth, and share hardware with customers. Okay, now you might think, well, this was actually good during COVID, but no, it's still relevant today, actually. Okay, so this is kind of cool, and customers love to review menus or products, place their orders, and pay all from their own mobile devices, all without enlisting as much help from your staff. And this is really good because it helps with flexibility thing, okay? And QR code payments work easily to direct customers to payment pages, a QR code app, or an online checkout that already exists. So by making it fast and easy for customers to scan the QR code to pull up a URL instead of having to type it in, you are improving their payment processing experience and empowering them at the same time. So this is kind of cool. So the once humble QR code has proven itself a staple, okay, staple tool helping businesses in the food and beverage industry and others looking to reduce touch points in the payment process. So this is kind of cool from a flexibility point of view. So let me talk to you about the top ways you can really use QR codes this year. So if you are looking, let's say you're looking for ways to integrate QR code payments at your business, but you're not quite sure how to do it. I've actually put together a list of the top 5 ways you can use a QR code payment system to accept payments at your facility. So the first thing is that you can offer express online ordering to customers with a QR code. This is really good. So if you're thinking about ways to integrate QR code payments at your business, but you're not quite sure how to do it, think about that. Think about offering express online ordering. Okay, so QR code has become really popular. Restaurant, food trucks, and fast service restaurants all benefit from using QR codes. But you don't have to be in the food industry to use QR codes. You can use QR codes if you are just in an industry that requires faster service. So you can print unique codes for every customer or every table or seats in your establishment to keep track of orders as they are submitted. So when customers sit down or when customers actually stand in line, they'll simply scan the code on their phone to pull up your quick order menu and select their items. And customers can submit their orders and pay in just one step, removing the need to deliver menus to the table or have a server take their order or something similar if you are in a different industry. Okay, so while removing touch points and creating a more contactless order experience for customers is one of the main benefits of using a QR code. Additional benefits include reducing the demand on your servers and improving order accuracy as customers select and submit their own orders, right? So this is kind of cool from a flexibility point of view. And let me give you an example. Food truck. Food trucks can display QR codes on the truck window or on a sandwich board sign, and the codes make it easy for customers to pull up menus and submit an order. And this removes the need for accepting in-person payments and lets you focus on fulfilling and delivering orders. Okay, so this is kind of cool because you are able to streamline your operations. You're able to get things done faster. Another way to actually use QR code payments, you can accept donations through a custom QR code. If you are, and when it comes to accepting donations, you can do it on a permanent basis, like permanent monthly basis, or let's say a one-time basis. It really depends on what really works for you. Okay, so charities and nonprofits can benefit from using QR codes to accept donations as part of their regular business operations. So this is kind of cool because you are expanding the realm of donations and donors that you can really tap into. So many charities most likely already have donation buttons on their website that link to hosted payment pages. But this makes printing a QR code for each of these pages a very easy way to encourage supporters to make a donation, right? Especially if you are trying to really, if you're working on a donation campaign, you want to reach a certain goal within a certain period of time. So, with fewer people carrying a cash these days, having an easy way to submit a credit card payment increases the likelihood that they can raise the funds that they need. So, especially if you're reaching out to customers in a very how do I say it, in a very strategic manner. Okay, and the cool thing also about QR codes is that you can also send it as a text as an SMS. Okay, as a text message, totally possible. Also, when it comes to QR code payments, you can use a QR code to encourage tips or gratuities. Okay, and this is kind of cool because you are thinking about revenue, but you're thinking about your staff welfare too, right? So many people working in the service and tourism industry rely on tips to supplement their income. So with a decrease in businesses accepting cash these days, this could have a negative impact on those staff members' financial security, right? And people in the service and tourism industry are great folks. They're hardworking people, and anything you can do to help your staff is actually appreciated. So QR codes can provide another avenue of revenue for your staff members, especially when it comes to letting customers know that you are still accepting and grateful for tips while giving them a cash free way to support your employees, right? So adding a QR code to a tip jar or on your bar is an easy way to let customers know that they can still provide tips without needing cash, okay? So you can link the QR code to a blank payment page where customers can choose the tip amount they want to include or create a code for the denomination of your choice. So this is really good because you are actually giving customers choices, and which is what you should be doing anyway in the first place. And one thing I also want to say is that if you are using QR codes for online food ordering, for example, one feature to look for is the ability to customize your tip options so that customers can include a gratuity with their order. And this is kind of cool, especially if you want to customize things, okay? And you can also look for a provider that gives you different tip options to meet the needs of different businesses, including actually the ability to pre-select a recommended tip amount for customers. I mean, some customers love to have a recommended tip amount, or they love to have a percentage, okay? But it's always good to have a recommended tip amount. Okay, that way you are giving you're giving customers some recommendations, and they love that. They love that kind of guidance. Also, when it comes to QR code payments, and you're looking for top ways to actually generate the extra revenue, you can quickly accept QR code payments for services. Okay, as I was telling you a little earlier, QR codes are not just preeminent when it comes to the food industry. You can also use them for the service industry. So if you run a business, you can set up QR codes with specific amounts to make it easy for customers to pay at your business. If you are renting equipment or providing a service that requires a waiver, you can add the waiver to your checkout page for customers to review and accept when paying. And QR codes also remove the need to invest in hardware like a terminal or a card reader. So that's kind of cool because it gives you extra flexibility. And so you actually also you don't have to train your team on how to use it, because if you have the right, it's a QR code is very user friendly, by the way. And you don't need to track things during the day also, okay? So whether it's restaurants, retail shops, or even service providers, QR codes provide an easy and secure way to pay. For restaurants, you can easily implement QR codes for customers to check in or order food for takeaway, right? So that's really good. If you are another business, let's say a pop up booth, a market, or a retail shop, you can use this technology to quickly take payments from customers without having to use a card reader or a POS system. Lastly, service providers such as plumbers or mechanics may use QR codes or invoices they issue at the end of each job, right? Allowing clients to conveniently pay via their smartphones. And if paired with synchronized intuitive payment tools, not only do these codes eliminate tedious paperwork and extra equipment, but they also enable businesses to avoid online fraud, okay, and easily track customer transactions. So this is kind of cool because you do have some flexibility, but also some granularity when it comes to tracking things from the customer point of view, but also from the merchant's point of view. If you're looking for top ways to use QR code payments, I want you to think about pre-authorization customer credit cards. So the ability to pre-authorize a credit card can be particularly useful for you if you are, let's say, in the hospitality business. Okay, so whether you are running a B&B or renting items to customers that require a credit card to be held on file, you can use QR codes to capture customer credit card information for a future use or as a guarantee for a service you are providing, right? Especially if you are trying to discourage no shows, or or you are discouraging, let's say, early termination, right? So it's very easy to accept QR payments. Simply creates a QR code for a $0 purchase to capture and secure store customer credit card information in your card vault. So when you need to charge the card at a later date, you will be able to access that info and complete the transaction. So this is kind of cool. So here are the extras here. In terms of final thoughts, you need to understand that this the those 5 ways are just a few ways to use a QR codes for your business, because QR codes are flexible. They are so flexible and easy to deploy. You can customize the codes in endless ways. As more businesses continue to explore new online payment methods, you're gonna see actually QR codes being implemented across the board. Okay, so you have to embrace that flexibility, but just remember that QR codes are nothing complicated. QR codes are simply a way to get paid. They're very safe. Okay, they are a safe method for accepting payments. When customers use their devices to scan the QR code, their payment information is encrypted and tokenized, okay, making it impossible for hackers to access sensitive financial data. And as a consumer, you should be wary of scanning random QR codes and take precautions to protect yourself from fraud. But most QR codes in restaurant settings are safe to follow and process payments through. Okay, and this is something that's important. And you also need to understand that you have a lot of ways to use QR codes. The bottom line here is that you want to want to quickly allow customers to get more information on stock sizes, colors, services, menus, all that kind of stuff. Okay, you can also use QR codes for multimedia purposes by setting up video tours of the store, providing unique coupons and discounts, or even hosting virtual events such as Q&A interviews with the owners or staff. Okay, so with a little creative thinking, you can leverage the power of simple static to enhance customer engagement, increase customer loyalty, and drive sales. And that should be the bottom line: driving sales. So, in conclusion, to this conversation, I spoke to you about QR code payments. I give you the top trains, the top ways, the extras, and the conclusion. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.